So Jeff Bezos just sent 6 women to space. Was it for inspiration or for profit? Let's talk about it right now, right here. Yeah, it drew a lot of criticism, but maybe that was the point. And we'll discuss it later why that was the point, but stay tuned for now. Despite what Katy Perry might think, they are still not astronauts. So for the astronauts who are working hard on their goals, maybe for years, you still are ahead of Katy Perry in the terms of being in space, because technically she was just, or is just, a space tourist, you know? Maybe the first one to do so, but still, at the end of the day, a tourist. And as an astronaut, if by some chance an astronaut is watching my video, don't feel too bad. Your training won't go in vain. At least I hope. But that's how this world is. The rich and powerful doing things. That's a common man's dream. But I don't want to go into that rich and common man's problems, because we all know how the world works, right? It's nothing new. Let's stick to the space expedition for now, and we'll only talk about the space expedition. So this expedition drew a lot of harsh criticism, maybe fair in some cases, but very harsh, so to say. One of them was about the environment. I have also noticed this point where celebrities do often turn a blind eye when it comes to their private jets, or in this case, a rocket. They just don't care. The carbon emissions for this one were around 70 tons of carbon, around maybe 270 tons of CO2. I think that's the equivalency there. And nobody cares, or at least they don't care. That's where I don't like the hypocrisy. If you are claiming to be such environmental champions, you should at least give like a single fuck about it. Sorry for my language, but I'm not asking you to ditch your cars or, just go on bicycles. I understand that's part of life and you have attained that luxury. I'm just saying maybe this rocket expedition could have avoided, especially if you are very vocal about being an environmental champion. Let the people who don't care about the environment do this. But that's just my point. You do you. But somehow still amazes me that you can just cherry pick causes. Okay, an all-female crew, an achievement. I cannot argue that. But you cherry picked your cause. You know that, right? At the cost of the environment, at the cost of hurting people's sentiments, so to say. I mean, my sentiments were not hurt, but for the people who think that millions of dollars that were spent on this expedition could have been diverted to a charity or to help someone, so to say, which I don't feel is wrong, but I also have to point out that this can be said for every thing that a rich person does. Like, why are they buying such expensive alcohol when they can just buy the cheap ones and donate the rest of the money to the poor people or the charities or the people in need? Or why are they buying a yacht, right? Because why does not rent a boat? But they're rich for a reason, and they have, I believe, at least many of them have deserve this luxury, because what else would they spend their money on? I guess helping people can be a part of your philanthropic reasons, but it doesn't have to be your whole life, which if I'm someday rich, when I'm someday rich, to be honest, I will stick to. So I don't want to be a hypocrite then and claim that I will be doing most of the charity now and not do it. So, but less about me and more about this expedition, right? But more than the criticism, what drew my attention more was, why would Jeff Bezos do it? Why fund an all-female crew to go to space? And that too for such little duration. And most importantly, why now? And let's discuss the top 3 reasons that I think are why Jeff Bezos funded this expedition. Space tourism is going to be the next big thing. At least that's what Jeff Bezos thinks. That's why he thinks now is the time to show and capture the attention of everyone and show them that Blue Origin also exists. I think he kind of feels left out because SpaceX and Virgin Galactic are always in the news, and people do think that those two companies are maybe a bit ahead of Jeff Bezos' company Blue Origin in this space, and they might not have given Jeff Bezos' company its true consideration that it could also achieve some things which would be helpful to all mankind. So I think he did, in the end, was successful with his at least capturing the attention of everyone. And that matters. Even if those reasons might be mostly negative, at least he has the attention for now. And he could potentially monetize it in the future. Second reason was just about showing that this is a reliable rocket. And this is a way to attract elite clients. And what better way to prove it than put your fiancé on the rocket and say, hey, at least I have put the person who I value most or love the most in this world at this moment on a rocket, and if I can guarantee her safety, I can guarantee your safety. And look how attractive that pitch is to a person with lots of money and nothing more to do. Space travel could really be the next big thing for the rich and the powerful with more money than they can spend, and they wouldn't mind giving a few bucks to do something that no other people are doing it at the moment. This is like going on that trip that no other rich person can brag of, and we all know, right? Bragging rights do matter amongst the rich, even amongst us, but they care about it more. At least that's what my perspective is. And Jeff Bezos is exactly targeting that dynamic, that people will want bragging rights to space travel. The third reason, and if you're a Katy Perry fan, is Katy Perry, or at least where Katy Perry comes in, is building a brand and publicity. Imagine if he had just hired 6 astronauts, even if they were female astronauts, 6 female astronauts that nobody knows. Would it have created so much buzz? Hell no. Hiring Katy Perry, hiring his fiance, that fashion partnership with some brand I don't even know, starts with M, Mose, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah, those all things contribute to its publicity and brand building. So that's not just to create buzz, but also comes across as progressive and inclusive. 2 of the good values to show the people that they can trust you, right? So after having all this information, what do you think? Is space travel going to be the next big lucrative thing, or will it remain a billionaire's vanity project? I hope I was able to give my opinion in a very neutral and non-biased way and bring both sides of the discussion, and I hope you liked it. So I hope you join for the next video. See you then.